In the skies above us, there's something we never see until it's already too late. Pilots whisper about it, scientists try to explain it, and survivors tell chilling stories that sound like nightmares. This hidden danger is called an air monster by those who have faced it. It has no face, no body, yet it strikes with terrifying power. Today, we dive into the mystery of the air monster no one sees coming. Imagine flying on a calm, sunny day, looking out the window of an airplane. The sky looks peaceful, blue, and endless. But suddenly, without warning, the plane shakes violently, drops hundreds of feet, and passengers scream in fear. This invisible beast has attacked. Pilots know it by another name, clear air turbulence. But to many who survive, it feels like being hit by something alive. Clear air turbulence is one of the most dangerous events in the sky because it is completely invisible. Radar can't detect it, clouds don't warn us, and the sky looks perfect just seconds before it strikes. That's why pilots call it the hidden monster of the atmosphere. No matter how advanced planes become, they are still vulnerable to this ghostly force. Many people think turbulence is just a little shaking, but the truth is far scarier. Clear air turbulence has thrown passengers out of their seats, broken bones, and even caused deaths. The worst part is it happens when people least expect it. There are no dark clouds, no storms, nothing to see. Just smooth skies one moment, and chaos the next. Scientists say this phenomenon happens because of powerful air currents high above the earth. Jet streams, storms far away, or even mountains can create invisible rivers of violent air. When a plane crosses into one of these, it's like hitting an invisible wall at hundreds of miles per hour. This is why pilots respect the air monster more than almost anything else in the sky. There are many chilling stories of this unseen danger. In one case, a flight over the Pacific suddenly dropped hundreds of feet without warning. Passengers not wearing seatbelts slammed into the ceiling. Drinks, bags, and even people were thrown across the cabin. Survivors said it felt like the airplane was grabbed by a giant invisible hand and shaken with rage. What makes it worse is how sudden it always is. A plane can fly smoothly for hours, and then in just 1 second, it's chaos. No time to prepare. No chance to escape. The air monster always strikes without a warning sign. This is why flight attendants always remind passengers to wear their seatbelts, even when skies look calm. Some pilots have described these encounters like fighting a creature you can't see. The instruments go wild. Alarms blare, and the plane shudders violently. Experienced pilots can often stabilize the aircraft, but in severe cases, even the strongest jets struggle against the invisible beast. It feels alive, unpredictable, and merciless. Clear air turbulence is not just rare, it's increasing. With climate change heating up the planet, scientists warn that these air monsters are becoming more common and more powerful. Stronger jet streams and shifting weather patterns mean future skies could be even more dangerous. What was once a rare nightmare may soon be a frequent threat for travelers everywhere. Yet, despite its danger, most people know little about it. Airlines rarely talk about it, and passengers often think turbulence is just normal shaking. But when you realize that this invisible force has injured and even killed people mid-flight, the story changes. It's not just a bump in the sky, it's an unseen monster waiting in the air. When passengers who survived these terrifying encounters describe what happened, their words are chilling. Some say they felt like the plane was being tossed around like a toy in the hands of a giant. Others say it felt like the aircraft suddenly lost control and was falling from the sky. The terror is made worse because no one can see what's attacking them. As if the sky itself has turned against them. One shocking story comes from a commercial flight over Asia. The plane was cruising smoothly at high altitude when suddenly it plunged without warning. People without seatbelts were thrown to the ceiling. Over 40 passengers were injured, and several had to be taken to hospitals after landing. The captain later admitted that the turbulence came out of nowhere and the instruments had given no sign of danger. Airlines try their best to avoid turbulence by checking weather reports and following flight paths that seem safe. But with clear air turbulence, even the best technology can fail. Unlike storms or clouds, it leaves no visible clue. The only way pilots can warn others is by reporting the location after they experience it. That means the first plane through is always the unlucky one. Scientists studying this phenomenon often describe it as the invisible dragon of the skies. The comparison makes sense. It attacks without warning. It has incredible strength, and it cannot be predicted with certainty. Just like a dragon in a story, this monster is both feared and respected by those who fly often. Many flight attendants also share private warnings. They often say, "Always keep your seatbelt fastened, even when the sign is off." They know too well how quickly things can turn deadly. Even a short burst of turbulence can throw someone against the ceiling hard enough to break bones. 4 crew members walking in the aisle, the risk is even higher. Some survivors describe strange silence before the chaos begins. The cabin feels calm. People are laughing, watching movies, or sleeping. Then, suddenly, drinks spill, food trays fly, and passengers scream. It all happens in seconds, and the peaceful sky becomes a scene of terror. That's why people call it an air monster. It hides until it strikes. One of the deadliest cases happened decades ago when a plane encountered unexpected turbulence at high altitude. Several passengers were killed instantly when they were thrown violently inside the cabin. The accident shocked the world and reminded everyone that the skies are not always safe, even when they look perfectly clear. Pilots are trained to stay calm and react fast. When turbulence strikes, they lower speed, adjust altitude, and try to ride it out. But even with skill and technology, sometimes the only option is to hold on and hope the aircraft can endure. The truth is, no one can fully control the air. Monster decides when and where it attacks. Experts warn that future travel could become even more dangerous if these invisible monsters keep growing stronger. With global warming speeding up jet streams, scientists predict turbulence will double or even triple in the next few decades. That means more flights will face sudden, violent attacks in the sky. The scariest part is that no matter how advanced planes become, the monster will always have the advantage of surprise. It cannot be seen, it cannot be avoided, and it cannot be defeated. All humans can do is prepare, respect its power, and hope they never meet it face to face. Some researchers believe that one day, we may finally be able to predict this hidden danger. New satellite systems and AI-based weather models are being tested to detect patterns in the atmosphere. But for now, the air monster remains one of the last wild forces of nature in the sky, unpredictable and unstoppable. Every flight, no matter how safe, carries the small chance of running into it. The truth is, most passengers who experience turbulence never understand what really happened. They think it was just a little shaken. But in reality, the pilots may have been fighting to keep the aircraft steady against invisible walls of air, stronger than hurricanes. Behind the calm voice of the captain on the intercom, there may have been sheer panic in the cockpit. Psychologists say the fear of turbulence is so powerful because it plays with our sense of control. You can't see it! You can't predict it! And when it happens, you can't escape. All you can do is sit, strapped to your seat, while an invisible monster throws the aircraft around. That helpless feeling is what makes it so terrifying. There are even stories of pilots who describe turbulence in almost supernatural terms. Some say it feels like being pulled by invisible claws. Others claim it as if the plane is being shaken by some giant force of nature that wants to rip it apart. While scientists explain it with physics, many who face it say it feels like something alive. Another mystery is how some areas of the world seem cursed with stronger turbulence than others. Flights over the Pacific Ocean, the Himalayas, and the Atlantic jet stream are known for sudden, violent encounters. Pilots often share secret warnings about these routes, but even with all precautions, the monster can appear anywhere in the sky. For many survivors, the memory of that moment never fades. They describe the sudden drop, the screaming, the sound of luggage crashing down, and the terrifying silence that follows once the planes. It's a reminder of how fragile humans really are when facing the power of nature high above the earth. Even though turbulence rarely causes crashes, its ability to injure, terrify, and traumatize makes it one of the most feared experiences in air travel. People don't remember smooth flights, but they never forget the day the sky suddenly turned against them. The invisible monster leaves scars without ever showing its face. In the future, air travel might become faster and more advanced, but the skies will always hold secrets, no matter how powerful technology becomes. The monster of clear air turbulence will remain an invisible threat waiting for the right moment to strike. It is proof that the sky itself has forces beyond human control. So the next time you fly and the seatbelt sign turns off, remember what lurks in the sky? The air might look calm, the journey might feel smooth, but the monster hides where no one can see. And once it appears, it gives no warning. That is the true terror of the air monster. No one sees until it's too late. The mystery of this unseen beast will continue to haunt the skies for years to come. It is not a legend, not a myth, but a very real danger that pilots and passengers face every single day. And though science may one day tame it, for now, it remains the air monster waiting, silent and invisible.